In this exercise we're going to cover skin smoothing. We should have already done the clean up, spot removal, lines and wrinkles, get the skin as good as possible, but now we're just going to soften the skin even more with this technique. Okay, as you can see by the layers, I've done some adjustments already. What we need to do is to make a copy of the sum total of all these layers. So while you're on the top layer, what we need to do is to hold the keys Control Alt and Shift and then press E, and this will produce a layer which is equal to all the rest combined. Now we need two copies of this, so I'm going to go Control J to have two copies. The bottom layer, I'm going to name that Skin Smooth Soft, and the other layer I'm going to name that Skin Smooth Sharp. Okay, now I'm going to switch this layer off for a second, make Skin Smooth Soft the active layer, and what we're going to do is soften the skin here now. So we're going to go to Filter, Noise and Median, and you can see by the preview that's really softened that off there. 20 pixels, between 20 and 30 pixels for a 30 to 40 megabyte file is more than enough. So I'm going to go OK on there. Okay, and once that is done, we're going to click on the Skin Smooth Sharp layer, make that the active layer. This time I'm going to go to Filter, Other and High Pass. And this filter really pulls out the detail of the skin, the texture of the skin. Find about 3 pixels is usually adequate, again for a 30 or 40 megabyte file. So we're going to OK that, and then we're going to put this layer into overlay mode. And as you can see, we've got an image with soft and sharp going on at the same time. I'm going to add a hue saturation adjustment layer. I'm just going to up the hue and the saturation to produce this bright green. And this is purely to see where you're going with your brush work, which will be reset once we've finished. Okay, so we're going to add these 3 adjustment layers into a group. So we're going to create a group. We're going to call it Skin Smooth again. Okay, click on the hue saturation layer, holding your Shift key, click on the Skin Smooth Soft, which is selected all 3 layers. Now drag and drop that into that group. Now while the group is active, hold your Alt key and click on Add Layer Mask. Right, now this is the point where we need to start brushing away. So we want a brush, a white brush, 100% opacity, probably want a hardness of around 30-35%. Just going to zoom into this, get a good sized brush, and we're going to just start brushing away now on the skin. And as you can see, it's revealing the green mask underneath, so we can see where we're going, so hopefully that we won't miss any areas. Avoiding the mouth and the eyes, brushing it around. To avoid as much of the hair as possible, the eyebrows and the jewellery. Reduce your brush size when you need to get into those areas. Just come around this side and do that, avoiding the jewellery again, the eyebrows, right up to the hair. Here, sure we haven't missed anything. Just a little bit around here. At this stage, what I normally do is make the brush very soft, drop the opacity down to 40 or 50%, and and just brush that so we can feather that into the hair slightly. Same with the eyes here, maybe just feather that in a little bit. It's looking good now. I'm going a little bit round here. I think I'll do the neck as well. Just a little bit into there. And there we have it. So what we're going to do now is, let's fit that back onto the screen. Okay, and what we can do now is hold your Alt key, click on the mask and see if we've missed any areas, and we can see that we have there. So I'm going to go back to my brush, push that back up to 100%. I'm just going to miss these little areas that we've missed, and there we have it. Okay, Alt key and click on it, we'll return it. We now need to reset the hue saturation adjustment layer, so clicking on that we'll reset it. We do need this layer, so I'm going to move this back behind the Skin Smooth soft layer. Click on that layer and duplicate it by holding Ctrl and J. Now switch it off for a second. This one I like to reduce as well. Turn that right down to, probably turn it right off here. Okay. Turn back to Skin Smooth Soft. Reduce that down to about 80 to 85% and put it into soft light mode. Okay, which you can see is actually increased the saturation. So using our hue saturation adjustment layer, I'm just going to reduce the saturation to return it back to where it was. Normally something between 25 and 35% reduction. Return to our Skin Smooth Softs copy layer. I'm going to, at this point, I'm going to just zoom in a bit. So we're going to go to actual pixels, and you can see it's really soft here. I'm going to reduce that down to around 40-50%. Yep, that looks very good. And now return back to our Skin Smooth Sharp layer, and we're going to increase the opacity of that. And as you can see, it's bringing some detail back into the skin. Maybe a bit too much. Let's just knock that back a bit. Okay. If you decide that just above the eye needs a little bit of softening, we go return back to the group layer with the mask, and maybe just reduce the opacity down to like 20%, and just brush that in slightly. And there we have it. Just zoom out, just onto the fit screen, and that's how we do skin smoothing.